The college football playoff national championship game is right around the corner. Tomorrow, actually. It's the Flex Zone podcast. You know, we had to preview the game. We got the number one undefeated Michigan Wolverines, Big Blue, taking on UW, University of Washington Huskies, who are also undefeated. The best two teams in the country collide, and there can only be one national champion. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, and sound off in the comments giving me your predictions as who will bring home the national championship. What's going on, college football fans? The national championship game is here tomorrow in Houston, NRG Stadium. We'll have the Michigan Wolverines with Coach Jim Harbaugh, who have been under mass scrutiny this entire season. Harbaugh has been suspended twice. He's returning. He's back. After defeating Alabama, he will look to bring home a national championship to Michigan and the University of Washington and Heisman finalist Michael Penix Jr., who's battled adversity, battled injuries, and has put himself in the conversation as one of the best quarterbacks in the country, will look to complete an undefeated season as well after they defeated Texas and will look to win the national championship game. Now, before I get into the X's and O's, this is the last season, if you don't know, of the 14 college football playoff format. Starting next year in 2025, we will have a 12-team tournament to determine the national champion. So after this season, where there was much scrutiny, opinion, innuendo when it comes to the four teams that should have been in, that should not have gotten in, the fiasco with Georgia, Florida State, Alabama getting in, and how teams lined up. Next year, we won't have to worry about that. Many people wondered how many teams would it take before we could get rid of these conversations. Four was a little bit, I think, on the underwhelming side because you wanted to see maybe at least 6 to 8 minimum. But I think 12 satisfies everybody. It creates an opportunity for more money. And we know that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It creates an opportunity for these meaningless bowl games that you probably wouldn't care about to actually count and count towards a college football national champion. Now, I do believe with it being 12 teams, there will be some buys and seeding implications, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there and we'll explain that to you down the line. But this is the last year of four teams, and Michigan and Washington have been the best two teams all season. As I said in my open, both undefeated. Michigan grinded it out and beat Alabama, and then Washington. They pretty much did what they did all season. They had a track meet, they outscored Texas, and Michael Penix Jr. is looking like he's going to be a legit first round quarterback that, in my opinion, is going to be able to hopefully do something at the next level. And you got to love the lefty. He's overcome adversity, he's overcome injuries at Indiana, and they were winning at Indiana if you know anything about Michael Penix's journey. And looking back at that, overcoming the injuries, going to Washington, putting UW on the map, Michigan with Harbaugh, the adversity they've had, Michigan versus everybody. This is going to be, I think, a very, very, very good game, and I'm intrigued to see the matchup. And like I said, I think this is the right matchup. These are the best two teams, and I think it should be a fun time game. Now, both teams have ways they need to win this game. Obviously, if we start with Michigan, I think it starts and ends with Blake Corum. It starts and ends with Blake Corum, the running back, the fabulous running back from St. Francis Academy here in Baltimore, who was hurt last year. He even said it in his post-game interview. He is back. He's grateful for the opportunity. He is ready to make an impact. And you saw against Alabama, he's pretty much at least good for 1 to 2 touchdowns a game. And his ability to run the football, and I think what they started doing even against Alabama, utilizing him in the passing game, being able to spread the field a little bit to create that threat with JJ McCarthy, with his athletic ability to move outside the pocket, has been paramount in their advancement. Let's not forget, Michigan has won in a variety of ways this season. They won grinding it out, running the football every play in the second half against Penn State, and they've won a few shootouts as well. So Michigan has shown they can win in a variety of ways, and JJ McCarthy is a guy who's looking to hopefully improve his draft stock as well. Washington, they've been the best offense in college football, in my opinion. Michael Penix Jr., Odunze, the weapons they have, the plethora of ways they can score, they can run the football if they need to. And I think they have been a pleasant surprise because they are moving to the Big Ten. And you guys know I cover Maryland football here as we do root for the Terps, but they are moving to the Big Ten along with USC, along with the UCLAs. Those teams will be in the Big Ten. So this is a future Big Ten matchup. This is a future Big Ten rivalry potentially. And Washington moving to the Big Ten, it's going to be very, very interesting to see next year as we look at those teams, including USC, UCLA, as I mentioned. And it's going to create a lot of fun, interesting matchups. And the Terps, I'm just going to pray for them because I don't know how they're going to compete with all these teams. As I mentioned, I've read their schedule when I did their post game show when they beat Auburn after their bowl game. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that adversity. But for Michigan, it's going to be run the football with Blake Corum. It's going to be how effective can he be. If Blake Corum can get over 100 total yards, Michigan has a good shot to really not only win this game, but control the tempo, dominate time of possession, limit Washington's possessions offensively as well. And I think that's one of the best ways to beat a good offense. Keep your defense fresh, limit the amount of plays they're on the field, and limit the amount of plays they have offensively by running the football, converting third downs. I think with Washington, what they want to do, they want to make it a track meet. They want to score a lot of points. And the key for them, as they do have the best offensive line in college football, they won the Joe Moore Award this year. If you don't know what the Joe Moore Award that is handed out, has been handed out since 2015 for the best offensive line in college football. Michigan actually has won it 2 years in a row prior to this year. So they actually won it 2 out of the last 3 years. As I mentioned, the award started in 2015, but Michigan has actually won it 2 out of the last 3 years. Washington won it this year. Michigan has a gripe about winning it possibly for the third straight time this year. But if the offensive line of Washington can keep Michael Penix upright, give him time to make plays, this could be an opportunity for him to create some opportunities that Alabama cannot take advantage of. Washington has better weapons than Alabama. They have a better offensive line than Alabama. They're not going to be fumbling snaps like Alabama. And I think Michael Penix is going to be able to hopefully, if they can protect him, keep him upright, have time to go through his progressions and make plays. As I mentioned, for Michigan, I think the key for them is Blake Corum, getting him the ball, getting him over 100 yards. And I think also JJ McCarthy being able to make timely plays out of those run formations with play action, spreading the field, getting it to Corum and others to hopefully extend drives on third down and score touchdowns in the red zone. Washington, I'm looking at them too, like I said, protect Michael Penix Jr., give him time to throw the football. And I think also with Washington, defensively, can they stop the run of Michigan? As I mentioned, Blake Corum is the key for them. If Washington can somehow limit Blake Corum, keep him in check, keep him under 100 yards, limit his effectiveness, somehow maybe keep him out of the end zone, maybe even force a turnover from JJ McCarthy, get some pressure on him. They have a chance, I think, in this game. I think they have a better chance than a lot of people are giving them. I think let me get the spread for you guys because I wanna get the accurate up to the second spread, but it's gonna be intriguing. I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup. It's going to be a contrast of styles, I think. Because like I said, I know Michigan, they wanna run the football. They wanna grind it out. They wanna play good defense. Michigan's 5-point favorites, by the way. Washington wants to have a track meet. And I think this will be somewhere in the middle. And I do like really both teams are 14-0. They're proven. Washington beat Oregon twice, Michigan beat Ohio State, Alabama. It's really going to come down to now coaching advantage. Is this Jim Harbaugh's last game? I believe it is. Clearly looks like he's headed to the NFL. Is that the Chargers? Is that the Bears, who look like they may keep Matt Eberflus? Is that the Raiders? I don't know, but I think this is definitely Jim Harbaugh's last game. It seems like the NCAA doesn't like him. He doesn't like them, and he looks to possibly go out on top and give a big FU middle finger to the NCAA college football committees and powers that be. But I think, as I said, those keys are going to be things I'm looking forward to seeing. I think Michael Penix Jr. can help his draft stock, much like we saw with the Justin Fields a few years ago. I think JJ McCarthy could even help his draft stock potentially with the big game tomorrow. Also, there are murmurings that he could possibly even be a first round pick. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. As I mentioned, from Michigan, key is Blake Corum, get him the ball, get him over 100 yards, and get him involved and convert third downs with the passing game and play action. Michigan, defensively, they got to get pressure on Penix as well. And for Washington, keep Michael Penix upright, allow him to get time in the pocket, and defensively for them, getting after JJ McCarthy, but also being able to stop that run, make JJ McCarthy beat you, make them one dimensional. And I think that's very, very important. Now, I do think this could be a high scoring game potentially, but I think both teams will fill each other out maybe for the first half, first half, first quarter and a half. And I think that Washington will potentially be able to match some of Michigan's explosive plays if Michigan is caught sleeping defensively, and if they try to blitz Penix and don't get home, and Odunze and those other weapons can really get open. And I do think Michigan is the team of destiny. I do think it is Michigan's time. I am going to pick Michigan in this game, but I think Michigan wins 27-24. I think it's a 3-point exciting national championship game, unlike last season with Georgia and TCU. I think Washington does cover the spread if you're into that thing. I think Michigan does have a little bit more. I just think they're playing with that chip on their shoulder. And like I said, they're a team of destiny. I think honestly against Alabama, they didn't play their best game. And I think with the week off of being able to prepare, I think they will be able to limit Washington's possessions offensively by running the football. And I think JJ McCarthy will make just enough plays to lead them to victory. But I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to probably throw for close to 300 yards. I think he'll probably give you about 2 tubs, 2 touchdowns. And I'm going with Michigan to beat Washington 27-24 and John Harbaugh to go out on top to give Michigan their national championship that they've been after the past few seasons. The last 2 years, they haven't won a game in the playoff. They beat Alabama, get the monkey off their back. And now we'll see if they can complete and finish the story. But Washington has had a hell of a season. It would not surprise me. It would not shock me if Washington somehow did win. And I do think they deserve more than a chance than a lot of people are giving them. As I said, if they keep Michael Penix upright and they're able to limit Michigan's effectiveness running the football, it's going to be a dogfight. Like I said, I could expect a filling out process early on, but give me Michigan 27-24. What say down in the comment section? This is the college football championship. The last year of 4 teams will be live tomorrow for the Flex Zone podcast, our first episode of the new year. And we will be live during the national championship game. We will be recapping the game, all the big plays, all the highlights, and giving our analysis and talking about the last season of the 14 college football playoff and looking ahead to what a 12-team playoff will look like and should look like. Also, we'll be recapping the NFL Week 18 and looking ahead to Super Wildcard Weekend as well. But like I said, what say you, Flex Zone family? Sound off in the comments. Hit the like button. Leave us a thumbs up. Hit stick it. Go ahead and sack that subscribe button if you're new. Welcome all our new subscribers. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, guys. If you can, please subscribe. And as always, let us know how you're feeling in the comments. As I mentioned, give me your preview. Give me your predictions. Give me your keys to the game. Who wins this game? Michigan? Washington? I'm going Michigan 27, Washington 24. Washington does cover the 5-point spread, but I think Harbaugh and the Michigan versus everybody mentality is just going to be a little too strong for Washington. 2 future Big Ten teams, as Michigan's in the Big Ten and Washington will be joining them next year. But God's favorite host signing off. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell. We'll be live tomorrow for the national championship game review, recap, and looking ahead to 2025 and that 12-team playoff. And we'll be talking about all of this and much more here on the Flex Zone. Look forward to hearing from you. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.